Hello, and welcome to the first ever the Digital Quill Podcast with your host, Mars Wilson. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. Pardon my French, am going to be speaking out of my ass quite a bit. I have, as I told myself when I started this, 30 to 40 minutes to kill. So, the test is, can I talk to myself and a probably very small audience for 30 to 40 minutes? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's dive right into it. So why are we here today? Well, I didn't prepare a script, so if you hear paper, I promise that's not a script. That's just notes. Yeah. I know. I need to tell you all why we're here. I get it. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have prepared a script, but we're here now. So I'm Mars Wilson. If you don't know who I am, I don't honestly know who I am either. No, I'm kidding. That's not true. That's far from the truth. I feel like I know myself too much sometimes, which is why when I go to do new things, I'm like, you're gonna fail. You're such a failure. You're gonna fail so fucking hard. Why should you even bother? Well, sometimes failure is a part of life. And, you don't, have success without sucks first. So, yeah, if this sucks, Mars, in the future, I'm sorry. And also, I'm sorry to my now captive audience. The Digital Quill Media is my family umbrella for everything I do online and just in life. I should have had more talking points of when all of my writing and photography and art and community building and other stuff started, but man, I really did not prepare this at all. Interesting. I hope that's okay. I hope you learned something here today, and I hope on the next episode of the Digital Quill Media Podcast with me, Mars Wilson, you you learn something better and are more engaged, because I'm not even engaged with this crap right now. What the heck? There will be swearing minimal on this show, so if you are sensitive to that, I will find a way to censor it on other platforms that are more sensory friendly. I think that's what I meant. Yeah. But yes, this is the first ever podcast. I kind of just want to introduce myself a bit and say I am stepping into the 21st century, more so the 2020s, where people don't read anymore, but they do have time to listen to people speaking to them in their earphones. If you're at work right now listening to this, how many hours till you're off? If you hear swallowing, I'm sorry. I have an energy drink that I am drinking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon because I've had a headache all fucking morning. I still have that headache, but I told myself that I wanted to do this today because today's Wednesday. It's not a posting day. I have the day off from work. I figured, why not? Why not do this right here, right now, even with a headache? I really need to get better at choosing things for myself because I'm not very good at choosing things, I guess. The Digital Quill Media family happens to fall under the Digital Quill Press, which is actually what started first. It started as a Substack post, well, not a post, but a Substack blog newsletter thing. And a bit of background on that, actually. I hate money. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not just to get that out of the way. Any income I earn from this is simply a byproduct of doing this because I want to be doing this. I think money is stupid. I think the fact that we have it in this world, and we will cover this in another episode, is really fucking stupid. It is truly the root of all evil if you think about it in a way. I understand the value and everything of it, but I don't know. We'll cover that in another episode, I assure you. This is definitely a hot topic. Which, speaking of hot topic, I used to work there. But anyway, the Digital Quill Podcast, the Digital Quill Media is the family umbrella of the Digital Quill Life and Travel, which used to be just the Digital Quill. I think I used to have it under another name. I'm honestly not sure at this time because my brain is fried from my headache what that name was, but it was just one newsletter. And then I decided to break it down into a few different newsletters, despite many, many people's warnings. Don't do that. You want to keep everything in one niche. You want to find your thing. You want to find your thing. You want to do this. You want to do that. And I'm like, I want to do what I want to do because I want to do what I want to do. This is for me. For me. And I get the idea behind finding your audience in your niche. I do. Trust me. I have wrung my brain out to try to find my niche, to try to find my audience. And I have one very important thing that is non-fucking negotiable. I don't have one specific niche. My niche is jack of all trades, master of few. My niche is Renaissance Sim, where I want to do everything at least one time, and if I like it, I'm gonna do it multiple times. Do not live like I do. It is fucking maddening. Or do, and enjoy the madness. There aren't many options for that. But yeah, so it started as a newsletter on Substack as one newsletter. Going back to the money thing, I originally wanted it to be free or like 5 cents, the way newspapers used to be back in the day. When I'm sure anyone over the age of 40 would probably understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, I wanted my newsletter, my Substack newsletter, to be like 5 or 25 cents, and Substack was like, "No, your minimum must be $5 only, no less." And I'm like, "Minimum of 5? Are you fucking kidding me? Why?" And then I started thinking about it after being on the platform, and I'm like, oh, well, they take a percentage of your earnings and they keep it for themselves. And, it probably has to do with the fact that if you made your newsletter 25 cents and you only had like 20 people on it, they probably wouldn't be making much from you from having your newsletter on there for 25 cents. So, of course, a minimum would be 5. Why not, right? Still annoying because it's like, this is my publication under your platform, but this is my publication. I would like it to be 25 cents so anybody, anywhere, maybe, could access this if they so wanted to. Trust me when I say the move to making things paywalled, especially like the way it is now, was a very hard battle I had to go over with myself. I was like, okay, I need to be actually moving into a career instead of making this just a hobby, which is, not what I wanted. I wanted my writing and my voice and my authorship and everything else to be a career, not a hobby. Like it's dangerously fallen into. So I was like, okay, what can I do that would still make me feel comfortable, but would bring in the income that everyone needs to live in this disaster of a world? Well, I found out that paywalling older posts that no one reads anyway was a good idea. So any posts that are like 3 months old get paywalled. And that's actually another segue I'm going to be talking about today is I will be, for this podcast, talking about the paywalled posts. This will not be a paid podcast, at least not for the first 30, 40 episodes. Maybe older episodes will be paywalled. I don't know. This is the first episode and I didn't plan this at all other than I'm going to start a podcast. Probably should have planned this. Headache, please go away. I would like to be able to think today. That would be freaking fantastic. But, let's see, where was I? Okay. Nope, my brain forgot it. It'll come back. And until then, we will talk about other things. So, I wanted my newsletter to be 5 cents or 25 cents, something cheap, something accessible. Eventually, I decided that I needed to, get serious about what I wanted to do for my career and my income and other things like that, because having a standard 9 to 5 job with a brain disability and, disabilities and a brain injury are not exactly easy things to acquire. And anyone who can do it, I'm so proud of you, because I hate myself. But anyway, I am presently working just part-time and then on everything I do online, and it's another topic for another day. But eventually, because I was like, man, I'm going to be writing about a bunch of different niches, from gaming to food to entertainment to restaurant reviews to music to movies to shows to just regular life stuff and philosophy. And I'm not going to not cover everything I want to cover, because I have such like a wide field of vision when it comes to just living. My biggest thing, because of my life, is living vicariously through other people. And that kind of means for me that to live vicariously through other people means to have secondhand experiences. And a lot of people would be like, no, I want to experience that myself. I don't want them to experience that. Why should they get to experience that? Well, sometimes I have to think to myself, people get things I don't have. Tough. People have a mom and a dad who love them. I don't. Tough. People have brothers and sisters they grew up playing with. I didn't. Tough. Like, I got to live vicariously through other people, and even though I didn't have the things I wanted to have firsthand growing up, and trauma and abuse and stuff, I did have other things that other people didn't have. And once I recognized that people have different types of, we're just going to call it privilege for right now, I was like, instead of being jealous or envious, I think what I should do is just live vicariously. Appreciate the fact that people have access to other things that I don't have access to, and revel in it. Once upon a time, none of us were able to listen to a podcast talking about anything. Once upon a time, none of us were able to look at pictures of the Guatemala Bay, or I don't know, like insert something fabulous here that you wouldn't have gotten to experience if not listening to other people or being online. Just saying. Just saying. Like, living vicariously for me is such a big thing. And that's why breaking the niches into different subjects on my Substack kind of mattered, because I was like, I'm going to end up writing about so much. It's going to look really fucking messy. Oh no. And thus, the Digital Quill the Digital Quill Press Entertainment, the Digital Quill Press Food, and the Digital Quill Press Life and Travel were separated and born. I do have a fourth blog, which is not exactly for general audiences like the other three. My fourth one is called M's Not So Secret Diary, and that was just a cheeky little title I came up with. I honestly had planned on changing it, but then I was like, M's Not So Secret Diary, especially given the content of this creative writing blog, is it works. It works. It works a lot. But yeah, so there are 4 now. There used to be 1. One of the segments I wanted to do, and this is actually another big reason why I'm starting my podcast today, or just in general, is when I was in high school and I was just starting to decide that photography and writing were both of the things I wanted to do as my career, as the things that brought me money, as the things that brought me to the world. I was following an Instagram page called Humans of New York. And this page was so inspiring to me. There's actually a post somewhere on my blog about it. I think I'd have to go back. It was so long ago that I talked about this. But Humans of New York, this Instagram page, was so fucking inspiring to me. you had this photographer who is a phenomenal photographer, by the way, and I think there's actually multiple people a part of the team now. If it's still just one person, amazing. Holy crap. Congratulations, dude, you were awesome. But this page lit a life inside of me when I was learning about photography in class and stuff, and learning how to apply that to my life and my writing and my career and everything. And he would go around just taking photos of people. And in the caption of the photo on Instagram, you would see this long paragraph or paragraphs of about the person in the photo. They would probably be talking about some story that happened in their life, how they got to New York, where they came from, what their family was like, whether or not their family was immigrants, and things like that. And I thought that was so fucking neat. My eyes lit up when I was scrolling through the pages. My eyes would light up anytime I would see a post from Humans of New York, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. I want to do something like that. I want to tell people stories. I want to take pictures of people and call it Humans of the World and be like, look, here's us, the humans of the world. You can thank Humans of New York for this. But I did start that segment on my blog at one point, and it hasn't exactly gone the way I wanted it to yet, but that's mostly because of my own shortcomings. It's all because of my own shortcomings, which is going to change. I told myself last year and this year, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the human connection thing that I've been wanting to do, and I've just been fucking terrified of doing. So, with that also being said, I have a Discord community that I'm working on building. I still have no idea how to fucking use Discord. Everyone in my server, I guarantee you, knows how to use it more than I do. But it's there. People can talk about things and share things, and eventually I will do some editing to the settings and whatnot to make it more community-based. But, as I said, I have no idea how to operate Discord. The people in it know more than I do, and I'm probably going to be enacting their help at some point in the future. So if you're listening to this, I'm coming for you. With Humans of the World being one of the taglines I wanted to go with as far as what I want to do, and that being an inspiration from Humans of New York, I also ended up one day creating an email. And you can actually use this email today if you need advice or just someone to talk to. You know, the Dear Abby things or the Dear Delilah, like, Dear Delilah, so and so and so and so, or blah 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 about blah 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 blah, and I have no idea how to feel about that. I could really use someone's advice. Yeah, well, the thing about advice is it's not a one size fits all. And anytime I give any kind of advice, whether unsolicited or not, I apologize for the unsolicited advice. Bad habit I need to break sometimes. When I give advice, and hopefully when anyone else gives advice, we're not trying to say, you should do it like this. Meaning, like, you know, my way or the highway kind of thing. It's more of a, here's my perception on the experience you shared with me. If I was in your shoes, this is my thought process on it. Do not do as I do or say as I do unless it feels right for you. I know that probably didn't make any sense, so to rewind a little bit further, Dear Abby and the like is kind of a, let me look it up real quick actually. Dear Abby Life Advice is the most widely syndicated columnist in the world, delivering sound advice. This started in 1956. Now, that probably gives off my age a little bit, or at least the fact that I was raised by boomers, but there will be a background more about myself later. But Dear Abby, or Dear Delilah and all the other types of columns that would have advice for people, I have something similar to that, because I have had people come to me for things, and I'm like, "Why are you coming to me? I don't know anything at all. Please don't listen to me. I'm just a ghost." Ooh. But people have come to me, and I attribute it to the fact that I was in therapy for a long time. I started therapy when I was 6 years old. I ended up getting out of it when I was 18. And then in my adult years, I only recently started getting back into it. But yeah, it's interesting to have the tool set I do from the things that I've had to go through. I just hope that any of the tools I have actually can help people at least not feel so alone, because I know what that's like, and I don't want other people to go through that. We are coming up on 20 minutes, which means I can say we're almost done. Yay! Although I feel like we still have some new things to cover in this introduction. So, if you are just now hopping on, decided to scroll 20 minutes in to get to the end, then let me just remind you that this is the Digital Quill Media Podcast, or otherwise known as the Digital Quill Podcast. I'm your host, Mars Wilson. This is my first episode. I'm nervous as shit. I promise you the next episodes will be better. Maybe. I can't actually promise anything, so no guarantees. Yeah, now that that's covered. Back to what I was talking about, and I should really cut out how many times I say How cool is that? But anyway. Yes. Also, I should probably get rid of but anyway. I'm gonna do a counter after this is over and be like, all right, how many times did I say but anyway? Oh no, how many times did I say always? How many times? I lost most of my trains of thoughts. So we've talked about the Dear Abby thing, Humans of New York thing. The email you can reach me at if you want advice for some godforsaken reason is dearmars2023@gmail.com. That's dearmars, DEARMARS 2023@gmail.com. Yep, nope, still don't have my train of thought. We covered the Dear Mars thing / Dear Abby thing. We covered the Digital Quill thing, the Humans in New York thing, the fact that I separated it into 4 different podcast or episode or newsletters. That honestly might be all that I have. When I was deciding on doing this podcast, I was like, your roommate has episodes they do, right? And I was like, you're right. I do know people who do podcasts, and I do know people out of state who aren't able to do podcasts in person with me. So when I was deciding on doing this, I actually decided on some things. So this format is going to be kind of like a conversation format. There will be some episodes where it's just me, myself, and I sweating through my hands, talking about stuff like this. Sometimes I might have guests on, just for conversation's sake and to get to know people and their stories. Sometimes I'll have guests on through Zoom. I have no idea how that's going to work yet. I am not as technologically savvy as I appear to be, so do not let me fool you. But I will be having guests and other speakers and other writers and photographers, musicians, all of the like this is Humans of the World. This is me trying to build a community or bridge communities together in one way or another, because one of the things that is super important to me is the value that it takes a village. It takes a village to raise kids. It takes a village to do anything cool. It takes a village for people to It takes a village for people to survive and thrive. It takes a village for us to do anything at all. I mean, the chair you're sitting in, someone had to make that. The headphones you're listening to, I mean, a factory made that, but someone had to make that. Like, it just, humans are so connected and interconnected in ways that having divide feels kind of weird and wrong to me. And I want to be building bridges to connect communities, build bridges to make communities, and hopefully eventually find mine, because I feel like I haven't quite found my community. I talked about niches earlier. Well, I'm not worried about finding my specific niche because, as I said, I'm a jack of all trades, a renaissance sim. But where are my people? Where are my people that don't care that I'm autistic or ADHD or have PTSD and CPTSD or a traumatic brain injury? Where are the people that like the fact that I write, or that want to understand the vision of building bridges to bring people together? Like, think of how the Avatar in Avatar The Last Airbender is a bridge between worlds. I kind of want to be like that. Not necessarily a bridge between worlds, but like a stepping stone at least. Sure get stepped on. So, yeah, yeah. But that's the thing. That's the reason. Like, I want to build community. I don't think people were ever made to do things by themselves. I know I self-isolate a lot, and I know that I don't always engage a lot, and my habits with social media messaging back and forth could be improved upon. However, there is so much value from in-person interaction. Even doing like a Zoom meeting through a podcast. Like, I started listening to podcasts a few months ago, and it's enthralling in a way to like see just people doing people things. If you've been on my social media lately, there are 3 things I say a lot. It takes a village, people or humans doing human things, and then the third and final thing, I'll give you a moment to think about it. It's keep going, people of Earth, or keep going, humans of Earth. I interchange those two. I know. I don't want to say I know better than anybody, because that's not true. I don't know better than anybody, but I do know better for myself that life isn't always roses and rainbows. Sometimes those roses have thorns. Sometimes those rainbows don't show up after a storm. Sometimes life is really, really dark. I don't know what it's like for you. I'm never going to know what it's like for you. I am in Mars Wilson body. You are in insert your name here body. But I can guess. I can try to guess. I can try to understand through a limited perspective. And that's why connection is important to me. Watching people connect is important to me. It feels good to see people communing over similar interests and be the reason that happened. It's happened so much on accident, I decided to start trying to make it happen on purpose, rather than be envious about it, because small, sad story. I have not always had a particular group of friends. I'm not like a nerd. I'm not a jock. I'm not any of those things. I'm a little bit of all of them, which, I guess you could consider as being a black sheep. Black sheep of a family, black sheep of school. If you relate to this, you probably understand on some level. Maybe. I don't know. But, damn it, I did it again. I used to be envious when my weird superpower would bring people together. And I was like, I wasn't trying to bring just you two together. I also wanted to be a part of this. There are specific stories and examples I'll share with you guys another time. But when I started picking up on the fact that somehow I was able to connect people, initially I was feeling left out and what's the word? Uh, rejected. I was feeling left out and rejected. And on the flip side, what I should have been feeling instead was not rejection and neglect or being left out of something. I should have started to focus, and I did start focusing on I did something. I brought two people who probably wouldn't have otherwise met together. Now they're friends, and now they're talking, and now they're hanging out, and now they're doing things together. And yeah, I wanted that for myself. But that's not for me. Those few people aren't for me. They're for each other, and that's fine. And that is when I started realizing, oh, I do this on accident. I bring people together when I wanted to be in the mix and I wanted to be in the thing. And I was like, oh, I I could do this on purpose and like make it good. And instead of being like upset that it's not happening for me, I can just live vicariously and keep doing it because there is nothing more beautiful than the fact that humans could connect with each other. I know sometimes it's hard and difficult, and we don't always say the right things. We don't always communicate the right way. We don't always have the best, most amazing thing to react with or respond with. Sometimes feelings get in the way. Sometimes we misunderstand things. Sometimes we misinterpret things. And that's all okay because that's all part of being human. What's not okay is not learning from it. What's not okay is letting it stagnate you. The idea of living, the idea of being human is to experience what this life has to offer. Now, you may not agree with me, and that's fine. If you don't, I would love it if you told me why you don't in the comments. Or blow up my social media. I'm probably not going to read it for the next 4 days anyway, but blow it up. Blow it up. Tell me why you don't agree with me, why human connection and the human condition are not everything I just said in this episode. It is a challenge. Go ahead. I challenge thee to take your pen and smite me. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea what I just said. Please ignore that. Ignore all of this, actually. That'd be great. Ignore all of this until I have a guest speaker. But yeah, that in short and long, in a half hour, is who I am. Sorta. That's very grossly understated about what I'm doing here and why I'm here and what all this is even for. Now that we are at 33 minutes, I am actually gonna wrap this up because my headache is getting worse and I need to go use my ice pack and hopefully get rid of it before tomorrow because I forgot what I'm supposed to do. Oh, work. That's right. Ugh, whatever. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to this day's episode. This is the very first episode of the Mars Wilson podcast. I fucked that up so hard. Good job, Mars. Perfect job. Good job. Thank you for tuning in today to the Digital Quill Media podcast, or rather, for short, the Digital Quill Podcast. I'm your host, Mars Wilson. I have Substack blogs you can read if you get tired of my voice. This will be available, I have no idea where yet, probably everywhere. I got a notification to add this to Spotify, so I might do that. Wait, do I need my driver's license? Oh no. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I might need a little help. But thank you for tuning in today to the Digital Quill Podcast. I hope you learned something today. I hope something was taken away out of this. Maybe you learned I'm an idiot and you never want to listen to me again. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe you're intrigued and can't wait for the next episode or the first episode with a guest. Awesome. Maybe you would prefer listening to me reading or listening to your own voice via reading instead of listening to my voice via a podcast. That's also great. You can do that. You can do literally anything you want to do. Just do not hurt people, please. And do not destroy property also, because, yeah, just please don't do those things. Most podcasts have a certain way that they end. Otherwise, they just end kind of abruptly. So, thank you for listening this far to my dumb voice. I'm nervous, if you can't really tell. I didn't prepare anything at all, if that wasn't obvious already. But thank you. Thank you for tuning in today and supporting me. And thank you for being alive and existing, because while we may be in the most unprecedented times ever, we're also in some of the most promising times too. And I firmly believe that if we do this together, if we keep going as humans of Earth, we got this. We absolutely got this. I know it doesn't sound like I'm hopeful right now, but I promise I am. And I appreciate you and being here today. Getting this far in this episode, tuning into this episode, sharing it, talking about it. Heck, I'm even proud of you for opening your eyes at least once. It all matters. You matter. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Mars Wilson, the Digital Quill Podcast, very first episode, asking you to have a wonderful and safe day. And if not, then have a wonderful life, because you truly deserve it. Thank you.